Yesterday, Biden's speech. You know what Biden's speech was? The first thing he talked about. So you know how when you're doing a video on YouTube, what's the most important part of a video you put on YouTube? What's the most important part of a video?
First 3 seconds.
First 3 to 5 seconds.
Catch 'em
if
quick.
you don't get them the first 3 to 5 seconds, you lost them.
Yeah, like a stand-up.
It's over.
Like stand-up comedy.
It is so important on how you catch my attention.
Yeah.
You know what's the first thing he talks about?
What?
The first thing he talks about is Paul Pelosi, okay,
and the threats of
the hammer,
yeah,
and then talks about the MAGA Republicans and talks about elections. Like, you know, the whole message was around people that are going to question the elections. And you're sitting there, you're like, okay, rates just went up 3/4 of a basis point yesterday, okay? The market's where it's at. People are concerned. And the only thing he wanted to talk about was elections for midterms the entire time. And Paul Pelosi, 23-minute speech, 22-minute speech, whatever the timeline was, that's all he talked about. And now they're saying that the elections, midterms that are coming up, don't expect real results for a few days. And then Brazil, did you guys see the guy that won
Bolsonaro.
Brazil? Can you pull up the picture of how many people protested in Brazil? Yeah, have you seen the picture?
Yeah, remind me of like the Iran protests.
How many people go to Brazil protesting? This socialist who's a criminal who won. Do you know who's getting involved? Do you know who's getting involved to say you can't question the election results? U.S. CIA, the director of CIA here, one of the leaders of the CIA here, went to Brazil to deal with their elections, and now America is saying it's a fair election. We can't say anything about it. And the voters are saying, no, I don't know if you count on my votes or not. Yeah. So here's where you go with it. If somebody is sound, who's coming in saying a logical thinker who can sit there and actually come up with policies that are good, this can be fixed in 4 years, the economy. It's not going to take 1 year. It's not going to take 2 years. It's going to take 4 years. And you don't just do it suddenly. It's got to be very, a methodical way of you doing it. And Powell's trying to do it. He's doing his best to do it. It's not easy what he's doing right now. It's a terrible job that he's got. But the challenge, more importantly, is we don't have the right leadership right now to fix this economy, because what they're thinking about is midterm elections, Paul Pelosi, and dividing America and more pinning everything on Republicans, knowing they're afraid that potentially they could lose New York, they could lose Arizona, they could lose all these states. They are so scared that they're saying we need 2-3 days. Look, you know when you have a friend, or you're dating a girl, you're dating a guy, or you have a business partner, if a person is sitting there saying, dude, I'm telling you, they're constantly saying, I would never do that. 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 Maybe you would do that, or somebody who is keeping a area that they don't want you to look at. We can look at anything, but not that. We can talk about anything, but not that. We can talk about anything.
Nothing to see here. When a police officer said, there's nothing to see here, there's definitely something to see there.
So when politicians tell you there's nothing to look at with Brazil elections, there's nothing to look at with midterm elections, there's nothing to look at with this, listen, man, I have a hard time trusting any of these politicians that taxpayers are paying, because they think America's theirs and America's the people's country. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And I think more Americans today are starting to realize this bullshit. So going back to the economy side, if the right person's operating America, we can fix this. Unfortunately, we have a hard time with the current person that we got, because I don't even think he cares about the economy. I don't think he cares about the economy.
I don't think he cares about the economy.
I don't think he cares about the economy.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think he understands the economy. I don't think he cares about security. I don't think those three things are priority to him.
I'm being genuine.
Zero.
I don't.
How do you say he doesn't care about the economy?
I don't think those three issues are in his top 5 issues. I don't think he puts economy, security, border in his top 5 issues.
I'm not going to fight you on the security and the border, because we can obviously go down the rabbit hole here. If there's a U.S. president that doesn't have the economy in their top 3, I don't care who it is, left, right, up, down, green, purple,
you really
they are
believe that?
fucking missing the boat.
But by the way, you're right, and he is missing the boat. I don't think he cares about the economy. Because
I have a hard time believing that he doesn't care about the economy.
George Will, who hates Trump.
I agree.
Who hates Trump.
But ultra-conservative.
But ultra-conservative. It's very important for the fact that you said that.
Yes.
So listen to yourself. George Will, who can't stand Trump, can't stand the fact that Bill O'Reilly wrote a book called Killing Reagan and went after Reagan. If you want to see a shouting match, go watch George Will, Bill O'Reilly. But he cannot stand Trump at all. You know what he said yesterday? George Will begs, if he can show this on the screen so the viewers can see it. George Will begs Democrats not to run Biden-Harris 2024 and risk America to Trump in scorching op-ed. You know why? Because he knows these two guys could care less about the economy. It may be a top 10 issue. It is not a top 5 issue for them. I think it's like one of those things when you wake up in the morning, you're like, yeah, I got to have some breakfast. I got to have coffee. That's in your top 5. Working out, not in my top 5. Probably my top 20. I'm going to skip it today. Coffee, top 3. You think economy is top 3 in this guy's daily issues when he wakes up? Hell to the no. If it was, he would have talked about it yesterday. It's not on his mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's pandering to voters right now.
Whatever you think.
He's pandering to voters. He's going to talk what he thinks people want to hear in order to drive the base to the polls.
But that's the point.
You can't talk about the economy right now because the economy's shit.
But he doesn't realize. So if you and I right now, if you got a big-ass cut here, your leg is broken, like literally you just broke your leg, and I'm telling you, so what do you think about what happened with the Lakers yesterday when they beat the Pelicans? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm ready to play.
Did you see that pass from Russell Westbrook? And like, Pat, my leg is broken. Dude, who cares? They won yesterday. Yeah. It's freaking awesome. The Lakers won. You're like, dude, my leg is broken. So America's saying, my economy is broken. You're talking about that elections are not going to get the real results for 3 days? What the hell are you talking about? No, he has no clue.
They're already.
Hold
on,
that's messaging, though. That's messaging.
No, it's called lack of interest in the economy. It's not messaging.
Adam, there's something
lack
that
of
goes
interest
deeper
in
here.
the economy.
You have to go on this is the way the left views the economy. Print or tax or regulate. And the guy who's on the far side of tax and regulate, that's Bernie Sanders. I've now described to you what the far left looks like. Ultra regulate, ultra tax. And then over here, print. Just print the stuff. AOC has even said we should do, it says, why not print another 1.1 trillion? If it helped all the people, then print another. They don't understand that there is a piper to be paid, and it is the Federal Reserve balance sheet. They, on the left, they don't think of it that way.
Okay,
and by the way,
I hear what you're saying, but Bernie Sanders and AOC don't have anything to do with the fucking economy.
No,
Thank God.
I'm talking about
they're not doing anything.
I agree with you.
They're not Paul Volcker. They're not Janet Yellen. They're not Jerome Powell. That's not the people touching the economy.
Adam,
they wish they could.
That's correct.
Thank God they don't.
That is the number line of going to the left of how they approach the economy. You tax it, you print, you regulate. And go take a look what happened in Greece 10 years ago. Go take a look why that there's conservative leaders getting elected in Europe, because the people know it doesn't work. What's going on here in Brazil is all connected. If you've heard about international economy, and they talk about BRIC, B-R-I-C, Brazil, Russia, India, China, as the 4 biggest economies outside of what is known as the Western democratic economies, Australia, Japan, UK, EU, United States, Canada. Well, guess what? The B in BRIC is Brazil, and the globalists do not want a conservative, right-turning Brazil. That is what is happening here. This is all aligned on the globalist left-line thinking. It's all connected. To me, I see a picture coming together very rationally, and that's why you've got George Will stepping out like this, saying, for the good of the republic, let's not go here. And he does not sign up to MAGA or Trump or things like that, but he's saying, let's not go here, please.
No,
he's right.
So Democrats have rarely, the last Democrat president that cared about the economy as a top 5 on his list was Clinton.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's the last time that someone actually had a good balance sheet.
But
the last
he came
president
closest to balancing the federal budget.
Let's not downplay this like he was all by himself without the help of Newt Gingrich, and he was a man of the year, Time Magazine 19. Let's not forget like what he did. So everybody typically says Clinton. Nobody gives a credit to Newt. Newt behind closed doors, one of the sharpest.
Yeah, because his name is Newt.
Correct.
Who the hell wants to give your name's Newt?
One of the sharp. He was a Time Magazine Man of the Year by a liberal magazine named a far conservative right Man of the Year.
And remember,
he fixed the economy. So, but going here,
12 years that led up to
the last time this happened, the last time it happened under a Democratic president was a Bill Clinton. Democrats don't wake up in the morning with their number one priority being, economy. Biden said multiple times, the most important issue today is climate change. The most important issue,
gender.
It's not economy. They don't think economy. You think economy. The average person thinks economy. They don't think economy. They're trying to sidetrack you and confuse you from where the economy is headed towards.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.